Day before yesterday, our risk reduction team went out to a property in Ocean View in which they confirmed, and again, this was information volunteered by the property owner. He has over 1,000 tires on his property that's going to need to be relocated and removed. Unfortunately, he's not physically able or have the resources to get it. So we're looking at ways to, in the very near future, pursue a community-wide cleanup, and for some of these very unique situations is reach out for assistance, such as the National Guard and other resources, to do a one-time, let's get some of these problems addressed, get them out of the community, and prevent the future problems from occurring.
When you talked about the 1,000 tires in Ocean View, it brought to mind a site visit that I was taken on in Ocean View to a illegal dumping ground, basically. I think you might know where that is, and unfortunately, it's on private property, and I think efforts up until this point have been futile as far as trying to deal with that. And all this, including the question from the testifier about whether the declaration of emergency would be available to us or to this island in providing traps, buying traps. And my question is, what does the declaration entitle this county to get?
Primarily provides access at the state level to the disaster fund for those state agencies that are supporting the response, Department of Health. If and when we activate or request assistance from the National Guard, if there's financial needs to support their mission, again, that's another source of funds rather than their current operating budget. Now, on the county level, we do have access to the disaster fund or emergency fund, regardless of the mayor's proclamation. But the proclamation does raise to the level, the concern that would justify reaching into that fund to take care of some of the response. But again, asking everybody's maybe understanding that we want to be prudent on how we tap that fund, because as we saw with Iselle, we saw with the lava flow, at any given time we could be faced with another disaster, and we would like to make sure we have adequate funds. So I think going forward with using the disaster fund for any kind of mitigation, cleanup, maintenance program, it would be based on some really well thought out strategies that will get the best bang for the buck, and it can be sustained. As you mentioned, the illegal dump sites. One of the fortunate things with the governor's proclamation is, and with most proclamations, we enter into the discussion of what should be in the proclamation to include if there's any state statutes or ordinances that should be in some way waived or some latitudes provided that would allow for the response to take place quickly. So one of it is regarding the environmental management rules and regulations that they must follow. As example, when the Department of Environmental Management operates a transfer station or facilities to take in refuse, they have certain schedules, they have certain volumes that they're bound by. But with the proclamation, it allows for some latitude to then take in surge, open up or extend the hours of operation, and again, increase the capacity for taking in refuse. And that's going to be critical. As well as, I think I might have shared with you, one of the county ordinances that we wanted to at least bring into the picture as part of the mayor's proclamation. And I'm not saying this is the path we're going down, but we want to have options. And that is, state law allows for the burying of tires in the landfill if it's cut up. County ordinance prohibits any landfilling of tires. And again, I stress, I'm not saying we're going to landfill the tires, but we needed to have options if there was a situation that occurred where the stream or movement of the tires wasn't going to be effective, and we'd be stuck with this stockpile of tires here, creating a health hazard. Fortunately, environmental management, working with their contractor, there hasn't been any challenge there with taking in this surge, 9,000 plus tires, and getting it moved through the system and recycled. But we needed to have options. But those are some of the things that come with the proclamation process, is discussing statutes and ordinance that we can consider some latitude or waiving to allow for the response to move quickly. And if there was a situation that occurred where the stream or movement of the tires wasn't going to be effective, and we'd be stuck with this stockpile of tires here, creating a health hazard. Fortunately, environmental management, working with their contractor, there hasn't been any challenge there with taking in this surge, 9,000 plus tires, and getting it moved through the system and recycled. But we needed to have options. But those are some of the things that come with the proclamation process, is discussing statutes and ordinance that we can consider some latitude or waiving to allow for the response to move quickly.
Right.
Yeah. So definitely clean up, and like I said, the guard, we've met this past Monday with the guard commander on island. We've been in constant contact with him, as well as with the chain of command with the guard since the beginning of the outbreak. And we just wanted to make sure the timing for requesting the guard resources would be based on we were going to use those assets for an appropriate mission. And we're getting to that point.